Hello and welcome. I think we're live. Are we live? We better check that we're actually live. We better check. And I had decided that I was going to check that we were live, but I still was kind of like,
Live
oh
on
God,
my-
look at. Did it come up live on your thingy there, Andy?
Yeah, it says live for 50 seconds so far.
Great.
I think someone's
going.
messaged me to say it potentially is live, so we'll see. It says at the top.
Excellent. So that's point one to us because we managed to get online. So that's a good thing. Thank you everyone for joining us here on LCL Pride. This is London City Roar. This is the podcast I personally have been dreaming about for at least a year, maybe longer. Somewhere where we can shout about London City, talk about all things ladies football, women's football, and not only throughout the year are we going to talk about London City directly, but maybe get a chance to chat to some of the background staff, to ex-players. And this is just somewhere where we can have a platform that we can explore the world of women's football. So why not? If we have that and we're here and we can do it on YouTube, why not? And I'm delighted to be joined by some old and new friends from Bromley. It's great to get to know you all a little bit better. Firstly, my name's Nessy, and I have been hanging around London City for a couple of years. And I'll be honest, I decided to go and see London City because my nephew told me that I should. Now, when the World Cup took place, my nephew Flynn was absolutely obsessed with Ruesha Littlejohn, purely for her name. He absolutely loved her name. And he saw a couple of interviews, couldn't understand the word she was saying with her Scottish accent, but knew that she was playing for Ireland. And he said, "Do you not know she plays for London?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's 7, I might add. Or he's 7 now, so he was smaller then. And he says, "She plays for London. You should go and see them." So being a Liverpool fan all my life, I decided to investigate a little bit more about this London City crowd. And living in Lewisham, I was absolutely appalled that I didn't know there was a WSL2 team down the road that were not affiliated with a men's side. So all I had to do was hop literally 2 minutes down the road to the train station, hop on the train and down to London City. And from the first day I went into Prince's Park, there was something just so magical, and there was such a fantastic community that I just got completely hooked. And one of the first people that I actually met there was Andy. Hi, Andy. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Andy. This will be my 4th year as a season ticket holder. And like yourself, my daughters were watching the Euros. And after the Euros, they decided they wanted to go and see women's football. So we had a look around, and London City at Dartford was the nearest club to us. So we bought season tickets before we even went to a game. And 4 years on, my daughters helped run the official supporters group. So we're quite heavily invested in London City at the moment.
It's a little bit crazy when you think of how many people were at those first games that I went to. Yeah. So that would have been after the World Cup. And I know that when I was going first, I was going to some Liverpool games at the same time. And then, you know, because I'm not from around here, you always spend time away from London when you're going home and you miss games and whatever. And I have to say now I plan my trips around London City games. But it was a case of you'd miss a couple of games here and there. And I remember going to some of the FA Cup games. And for me growing up, they always seemed to, especially when you're not from here, maybe it is because you're not from here or I'm not from here. There was always this magic about the FA Cup that was like, oh, it was always something special. But when you went to an FA Cup game, there could have been maybe 50 people there at the most. And there was something that it made me feel that I wanted to do something to help London City, if that made sense. I wanted to shout a little bit about them because they deserved it. There were some really, really good players. The resources that they had were pretty terrible at the time, but there was still something there that it was like a little gem that deserved to be, I don't know, shone, to be seen by more than 50 people on a Sunday afternoon in the rain.
We had the same thing. Connie started the supporters group that first season 4 years ago with a couple of other girls, just to put it on the social medias and, you know, get London City out there, because they weren't doing any social stuff then, really. So we all have to work together to get the name out there.
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
you said, we probably had 200 if you're lucky at Dartford. And now we're averaging 3,500 last season, I think was the average.
Pretty good going. Pretty
Not
good
bad,
going.
but even more this season, I think. We'll be pushing average 4,000, I would have thought.
Be selling out.
Yeah, we will
So,
do for a lot of the games, yeah.
Mm.
Zoe, I got to know you on Instagram and then found out that you had bought a season ticket for London City.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit how you got into the club.
Yeah, so my story's a little bit different. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm London City through and through. I grew up as a Liverpool fan, watching the men's team. Obviously, being young, trying to find a role model. I was playing football at the time. Loved Kelly Smith, followed her to America, and she ended up at Arsenal. And that's basically where I ended up. Season ticket holder when I was at university. £25 for a season ticket, absolutely brilliant. So used to go up there, obviously weekends when I finished uni, watch them at Boreham Wood. So yeah, I followed Arsenal since I was like 21. Not the men. I'm not the men's team, not at all. I have to explain that story all the time because people are like, you're Liverpool, but you're Arsenal ladies. That makes no sense. But I went to watch London City Lionesses a couple of years ago at Dartford. I'm a huge women's football fan. It doesn't matter what football it is. It can be. I've worked in women's football because at uni I did physiotherapy, and I was physio at Brentford Women's, Barnet Women's. They were in what we would call the Women's Super League at the time. I think the highest game I played was semi-final of the FA Cup against Everton. But I didn't play. Wasn't that good. And Middlesex Centre of Excellence is where Chloe Kelly was, and Anna Philby, who's at Watford, Rihanna Dean, who's just signed for, I believe, Fulham. She was at Ipswich. So I'm very heavily involved in women's football. Getting back to Dartford. So I heard there was a football match going on at Dartford. I thought, got nothing to do this day, thought I'd nip down there, and it was London City against Bristol City, I believe. Oh my god, what a game. Absolutely brilliant. Hooked. I was like, this is really good. Unfortunately, I think it was near the end of the season, so I didn't, and because of my work, I work all sorts of weird and wonderful shifts, couldn't get down again. And then obviously the hype has started. Michelle Kang's come in. She's literally thrown money at this team, and they've invested so well. One of my favourite players in the world is Alexia Putellas. So that's the rumours started obviously last year when she was there with Beth Mead and Mariona Caldente. My favourite player in the world is Beth Mead. So I thought, wow, I live half an hour from Bromley. I could have Beth Mead here for half an hour down the road. That wasn't meant to be. However, the retailer signing came off amongst the many other signings, especially that Mary Earps as well, and Mappy Leon. And I'm like, yeah, I can't ignore this. I'm gonna make the jump and buy a season ticket because I don't necessarily always have the time. I still work in the same job, but I'll make the time now. It's half an hour down the road. I don't have to traipse up to North London to the Emirates. My other half is Tottenham, so really, really grates her when we go into the Emirates Stadium. She's like, I'm really not liking this. So I've had to placate her, but I think she is definitely going to be the London City Lionesses fan. She is loving it. She loved it Sunday against Atletico Madrid. So I'm really excited for the season.
Jamie, I have seen you around a little bit around Bromley?
Oh
Tell us
gosh,
how.
I had that when
tell
I
us a
went to
little.
the World Sevens tournament. That when I came back on the train, two people saw me and said, "Oh, we recognise you." And I thought, "Oh God, what have I been doing at these matches that people like?" I'm sure it's just the hair, and it's not lewd behaviour or anything. But thank you very much for inviting me. I feel a slight fraud, if you will, just because I started out. So I'm in Reading, that's where I live, and after the World Cup in 2023, I started going to Reading women's games. That was the season where we got relegated into the Championship at the time. First game, we lost 3-1 to Sheffield United. Best experience of my life, and thought I'm going to keep doing this. And it was wonderful, fell in love with the team. And then the club, which was in financial difficulties at the time, decided at the end of the season that it wasn't profitable to keep supporting their women's side on a semi-professional level. So they ceased all women's team functions totally, essentially, and the women's team moved to the charitable arm of the football club. So I spent the next year essentially hopping around all the stadiums around London and the southeast, just seeing where else I could maybe find a new team in and a home in. And it was when London City went away to Southampton that I thought, because I treat it like a bingo list, just see all the teams and just see which ones I like. And the fact that it was an independent club with no men's team, which would kind of be like the obvious thing to say for a club in difficulty. It's a women's team, and it's a women's team only. That's the ambition. That's the focus of the club. It was just so intriguing as someone new to the world of women's football. And I've got no associations with Durham whatsoever. So London City it was. Came along to our first match last season in the Emirates against Arsenal. Those glorious, like, what was it, 5 or 10 minutes where we were ahead by 1 goal thanks to that penalty. And hearing the Emirates just go stone cold silent, apart from like the 20 of us that were there. But I think you touched on it. I think everyone has as well. I think that kind of it felt like it was such a small little group of people, like just like cheering on, and now it's already evolved into this real titan trying to be ambitious and challenge. And it's so exciting to be like following a team that's got such ambition, is actually putting their money where their mouth is and looking to make that happen. So I ended up getting a half season ticket towards the latter end of last year, and season ticket for this year. So excited for the ride. And again, thank you very much for inviting me on tonight.
No worries at all, because I'm delighted that it's you guys that have come along, because I think this is pretty typical of the people who are coming to see London City right now. People who are getting involved, new people who want to see what it's like. I mean, I've had conversations with people and said, well, why did you pick London City? Yeah, they were down the road. Like, Charlton was closer to me. And I love going to the Valley, but Charlton have a men's team. So London City didn't have a men's team. And that was the tipping point, because they were in a different division as well at the time to Liverpool. And it was like, okay, I'm free. If you want to put it that way, I'm free to support London City and see how they go. And it's a team locally that I can get behind. And I think whether you're a new fan or someone new who is just finding out about London City, or someone who has got to know them thanks to our fantastic signings this summer, everyone has a place at London City. And I think it's just important that everybody gets to share their voice and show their voice. And as I said before, there's no correct way to support a football team. So that's what we're all here to do, is to show how we support it and talk about our team. And that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, let's get down to business then. Oh no, here we go. Right, we did the welcome bit. We did the like and subscribe, did we? No, like and subscribe if you're liking this kind of thing, because we will have more of these. Now that we've figured out how to press the go live, there will be more of these kind of things.
Click this.
We're gonna yes, yeah. The like button's down there somewhere. So thinking about things, we might put this on Spotify and stuff just for audio as well, but this will always be on demand on the YouTube channel. We need to talk about the summer signings, but I want to talk about those who left. was there anyone that you were disappointed left the team at the summer? Because I was a little bit sad to see Lotte Lindstrom leave, because I think she's just a fantastic little player.
I think she wasn't given the chance. Obviously, she had her LCL last season. I think, or ACL, sorry. She wasn't given the chance a bit longer to have a go, if you know what I mean. She could have been a really, really good little striker. First time I saw her play at Dartford, she just came on and scored on a second touch of the ball, I think it was. Yeah, I was disappointed to see her go. I think the rest of them were on the cards, I think, with the players that they were going to bring in.
Yeah, I think you could see somebody like Karis Brown who left. I think you could see her that towards the end of the season, how things were going. You could see that it was time for her to move. And I think you have to think of some of these players as well. They might have come in when they were a year or two younger at London City, but by the time you get to 22 or 23, you either want to be trying to get into the England under 23s, making enough impression that you're going to do that if you're an English player, or you want to be able to get in enough minutes. If you're not going to get into a national team, you want to be getting enough minutes that you're either going to be, well, to be honest, you want longevity in your career. So you have to play with a team and you have to be on the first team. And that's the bottom line. So you have to go somewhere you're going to get played.
Yeah, I think it's also hard that they obviously brought in some world-class players as well that might have been that level slightly higher. So they were always up against getting into the first team and establishing themselves as well.
Yeah.
Katie Zayden,
sorry.
That was a shame how she kind of just flitted in and flitted out and didn't really play. Like, she's half decent. So, there's this big hoo-ha, she signed, and then it was like, oh, she's gone again. It's just, that was a bit of a shame. But, no offence, who would you rather?
She wasn't getting the minutes because I think, not saying she's at the end of her career, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean. She's gone past her prime a little bit, but she was good like a couple of years ago. Maybe just
she won 2 titles. There are 1 title anyway with Liverpool.
Yeah. So I found that a bit of a shame that she didn't really do a lot. I mean, I think she's back at West Ham now, isn't she? So
she's back at West Ham. I actually met her at the Charlton Birmingham game. It was the last day of the season when Charlton lost. But Katie was there and I just bumped into her and I'm like, you're the only player that hasn't signed my shirt from last year. She's the only player that didn't sign my squad shirt. And she was like, oh, but when I mentioned London City, her face kind of dropped. And I was like, so are you coming back? Are you staying at West Ham on loan? I'm not going to tell anyone, like. And she was like, oh, you never know what's going to happen. But at that stage, it was really apparent that she wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
Really apparent from a London City point of view. And her reaction just gave it away as well. Whether she wasn't happy at London City, I mean, things happen. I mean, Denise O'Sullivan, referring to Liverpool again, Denise O'Sullivan made the trip from the States to London or to Liverpool in January. Didn't work out there. She wasn't happy. Didn't settle in Liverpool at all and has gone back to the States. Because one thing I think as well, when you look at someone like Katie Zelm, she was over in San Diego or the States, and Angel City. She was over there. They're a long way from home, and sometimes they come back for certain reasons or they want to be closer to home. They might make a decision, but it mightn't be always the actual correct decision for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of toing and froing in women's football. I think this summer signing has shown that big time, how it's almost, it sounds a bit hard, it's almost a bit laughable how, like, you watch them, they appear at one club, then a year later they're at another club, and then they're a year later they're at another club, and they're stood there tapping the badge, and it's like, I don't know whether that's because the contracts are so short. You know, who knows what is going on in the background, but
This season as well, it seems, especially when you consider kind of Katie McCabe going across to Chelsea, Beth Mead going up to Arsenal. Not too long ago, we had Chloe Kelly coming down to Arsenal from Man City. It is interesting that it's also amongst all of these top teams. It's you I guess maybe it's like the football fan. You think they pick one, and then in England that would be it. But maybe that speaks to the landscape of women's football, and not to be inflating one's own ego, but I think the WSL is pushing quite maybe a bit past some of the other leagues in Europe and the world. So maybe it's harder to kind of, if you want to change, I guess your options are a little bit more limited. So maybe you kind of get that, but it's a very weird optic for sure that some people do just have such short windows somewhere.
Really short.
Yeah, I think the other problem is, unfortunately, there's getting a lot more money in women's football now with the contracts and the wages. So if so and so is going to be paying you whatever more a year, there's not as much loyalty now. You're going to chase the money.
Yeah.
Which we don't want to see. We don't want to go down the same road as the men's team, as a men's game.
It's just such a short career, though, isn't it? That's the problem.
This is it. Yeah, you have to make your money while you're still playing football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's one thing that when Lotte actually signed for London City made me very optimistic about the future, because Lotte was she the first signing after Michelle Kang took over the club? I think she was the first signing, and Lotte signed on a 3.5-year deal. And when you hear someone who we didn't know at the time coming in from Finland on a 3.5-year deal, that was like, okay, there's someone who's willing to put something into the players. And when you see now, a lot of the deals seem to be, I think the shortest deal was what, 1.5 years ago or 2 years was that. I think Saki's deal was the lowest, because she came in on was it a 2.5 year, because she arrived in January or something?
Yeah, 2.5 year,
yeah. Most of them are like a 3-year deal, which I think shows confidence in the players, but it's reassuring as well, because it was always a fear of mine, and I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but I'm going to say it publicly.
Controversial.
Once upon a time, there were some people involved in OL Reign in Seattle, and they took over OL Reign, and about 18 months later it didn't work out and they got out of it. And I did not want to see that happen for London City. So I did not want someone going in with the investment and then come out of it. And Michelle Kang seemingly was part of that what do we call them, a consortium at the time. And I did not want that to happen for London City. But I mean, obviously she's kind of made up for that, and she's shown how serious she is about the club. But I think we're at a point now where, yeah, we're serious and we're doing that, but we need, it's great her doing it, but we have to try, or the league has to try and get other clubs to make a similar investment, especially when you see somebody like Man United, where they're a top Premier League side, but the Jim Ratcliffe doesn't seem to give a toss about the women's team at all.
To be fair, I don't think he really cares about football in general. He's just bought them, and he's just like wrecking both teams. Like even the men's team, you've got people that worked there for years and years and years, just got rid of them. Just, no, you're surplus to the requirements, and it's like this person, like I can't remember her name, the lady that worked there for something like 60 odd years. It's just like I despair for Man United this year. I really do. I only think it's a matter of time before the likes of Ellerton, Jess Park, Rolfo, the Tallis Joyce, they're just going to go. They can play anywhere in the world. I feel sorry for them. I really do.
They can wait until after next week, though. You don't mind that? Well, they can go beforehand, and they can bring in the academy players if they want.
Are you all going on Friday, the 4th?
Yes.
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 Mhm.
Lovely. So
Come rain or shine.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Let's talk about some of these. How do I do this now? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. How do I do that now? Oh, maybe I do this. Right. I don't know what I'm after doing. We'll have to try and find something else. Right. Basically, that was a list of all the squad that we have now. And we'll have this nice cyan grey. There you go. It's almost ultra Turk, that color, isn't it, over there in the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's near enough. But we see that looks a bit better, does it? Yeah, that's a bit better. So basically, we've had all these players come in. How do you rate the players that have come in? Are you happy? Because I think I remember speaking to you, Andy, about Mary Earps when there was rumors earlier in the year, and you were kind of like a little bit hesitant in saying, yeah, she's going to be a fantastic signing.
Yeah. We were thinking that she was going to come back to this country and didn't even think she'd come to us. But I do believe she's obviously a superb goalkeeper, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her play. I think the problem was this, because our keeper signed a new contract, an extension on a contract, just before Mary Earps was announced. Now, I'm pretty sure she would have known Mary Earps was coming, yet she still signed an extension, knowing that quite possibly he's going to be a number 2 goalkeeper after Mary.
After Sunday, I'm not so sure.
That's brilliant.
I don't
That
think
second
that's
half
what's
was
going
brilliant.
on. I'm almost tempted that maybe Earps has been brought in because I think if they wanted Earps to be the number 1, Lette, like, she's a great keeper, but I think it's very telling that Lette still started in all the preseason friendly fixtures as well. I think they're kind of bringing Mary in kind of to almost maybe mentor Lette a little bit, because I think Lette's got the makings of a great goalkeeper. She had a good season. I think it is worth noting I don't think we kept that many clean sheets though, so there is still room to grow.
She
I
made some mistakes.
I think
that
she's
cost
going to
us.
get there, and I think Earps is kind of that experienced character. I think also I think London City, maybe there's, I'm not saying that Earps is like not like a personality hire, but I think there is maybe an idea of London City appealing to like the Lionesses of England and having that kind of England star power. And I think it was maybe as much having her presence kind of on the roster as well. I think there'd be a lovely poeticness if Earps was the keeper in the Manchester game, but I think maybe she was more there to kind of develop what's quite a, forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, quite a young cohort of keepers. With like London City are a club that if they wanted to get Tullis Joyce in from United, for example, then they write the check if they wanted to. So I think it's fascinating that I think they're playing the long game with Lette, and I think that's nice to see that they're doing that for some young players that they've got, like Fred Godfrey as well, that they actually do want to nurture them in the club, not just get all the best in and just call it a day, as it were.
Yeah, with respect to Mary starting the pre-season friendlies, we were at the training ground having a look around a month or so ago, and Mary Earps was in the gym on her own training. So whether she's got a niggly injury or something as well, we don't know. So,
I mean, is it another Alex Morgan? You know, when she went to Tottenham, Alex Morgan hardly played, and then she left. It was like, let's bring in all the revenue. Let's sell all the shirts with Morgan on the back. Make the money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Mary is, unfortunately, she is towards the end of her career. Absolute brilliant player. Most clubs would want her for all sorts of reasons. Like you say, she's a fantastic character. She knows everything there is about goalkeepers. She's won almost everything, not quite the Gold Cup yet, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, after Sunday, how do you pronounce? Is it Lette?
Yeah.
She was unbelievable. She was brilliant, and I thought, well, Mary's got a handful because this girl is not giving up her gloves anytime soon.
No, I think it's not going to do her any harm whatsoever training day in, day out with Mary Earp. She's going to learn a lot from her. But last season, she was hesitant at coming out. I honestly think a couple of those games we lost because of goalkeeping mistakes. But like you say, Sunday, she was coming out, brilliant saves. It wasn't for her in the second half, we wouldn't have won that.
We'd have drawn.
Yeah.
Is she young? Like, I don't know a lot about her. Is she a young girl or?
Yeah, she's only 22, 23. She arrived from Real Sociedad. If I remember correctly, she played every game for Real Sociedad the year before she arrived. She got sent off in one game because she came out of the box to get a wayward ball. The forward was coming in and she decided, well, you're not getting that ball. So she got sent off for it. But yeah, she was great on Sunday. She was really good on Sunday. But the whole thing, I mean, before Emily Orman went on loan, 5 goalkeepers is a lot of goalkeepers.
Yeah.
And they're still holding on to Sophie Hilliard. Sophia Poor is great. I think she has the potential to be amazing. It's an awful pity that she didn't get on the England squad, the under-20s. I know she plays with the under-19s. Is it still? Or is it the under-20s? Can't remember which. She was away in...
written me some notes. So, under Sophia Poor's England under-23 now.
Under-23, okay, yeah. So she's gone up an age. But, you know, she deserves, I think, to be playing football as well. And that is something that's going to have to be considered. Sophie Hilliard was injured for a couple of seasons. I think Sophie does stuff with the underage teams now and again. There was something on the socials last year where she was training with the underage or doing coaching with the underage teams as well or something. But it's like there's 4 goalkeepers. Mary Earp's coming in and not being guaranteed the number 1 spot. Right now you can see, after last week's performance, you can see why. But whatever about Mary Earps, she looks really happy right now.
She does.
She looks really, really happy. She was buzzing to be there on Sunday. She, like, going around after the game even, she signed every shirt. She signed every T-shirt. She signed pieces of paper. She signed everything. She had her own pen with her. Do you know what I mean? And everybody loved her being there.
I think she's happy to be back in the WSL without a doubt. And she does believe in a London City project. From seeing her on her socials, the one-on-one interviews she's given, she is very positive about London City and what the club believes in.
I mean, the whole elephant in the room, though, is Champions League football. Like, you've got these players coming in who, like, if we talk about the Spanish girls, Putellas and Leon, they've won Champions League dozens of times. Maybe not that much, but what will happen if we get that Champions League spot? You've got this elephant in the room with Michelle carrying at the top. We won't actually get Champions League football because of that rule. So will that actually ever really? Will that hurt London City in the future, or will it get sorted out? Who knows? So,
I genuinely don't believe that will ever be an issue.
And
I don't believe that it will be an issue because of league placements. I believe that it will be sorted internally, as in business organisation wise.
We were talking to the first team director, about this, and he said, as long as you've crossed your T's and dotted your I's in all the paperwork, it's not an issue.
I hope he's right, because obviously the signings they've made is incredible, but a lot of these players are towards the end of their career. You know, Putellas has probably got maybe 2-3 years. Same with Leon, maybe Mary Earps. Again, they are great players, but we want to also be attracting young stars. You know, you're going to want, I'm just picking names out of the air, Aggie Beever-Jones, young England striker, not getting much playing time at Chelsea. She could be a free agent next year. You wanted to attract those players, but they're also not going to go to a club if that is looming in the background. If they can get it sorted out, then it's going, fair game.
He's had no qualms about, don't worry about it. If we get into Europe, it won't be a problem. Also, on the other hand, about bringing in younger players, London City looks a lot more attractive when you've got World Cup and European Cup winners with Alexia's history in football.
Mm-hmm.
The younger players are then going, oh, maybe I'll go to London City instead of Arsenal. I know, like you say, Alexia might only been there 2 or 3 years before she retires.
Mm-hmm.
But having them superstars in the team will make us more attractive to, like you say, some of these other players.
Yeah,
you kind of wonder what that might do for their skill development and such. Like initially, for Fred Godfrey, I think everyone would look at and think, oh, she's a talent that's gonna shine. But now in that sort of squad, you just wonder, is that going to accelerate? Is that going to go much further than people expect? Weirdly, I think all the signings are really amazing. I'm so fascinated to see what that does for the squad that have now been there a year, because I think that was probably the biggest thing last season, was that you've got all these great talents, but they're trying to work out and build those relationships and those connections within a year. But now they've got a year, and they've now put this kind of new layer of talent on top of not just this kind of hodgepodge network. This is on top of a team that has got those relationships. So I'm curious to see what happens to Poppy Pattinson and Izzy Goodwin and Imuran and kind of all the players that have been there a year and 2 years, to see if they kind of shine more so. Because I think if we didn't even bring all these signings in, with time, the squad that we had last year would still have been really competitive. So I think the sky is just truly the limit now. So I'm so excited to see just that mixture of that kind of familiar team, but also with these new talents involved as well.
Well, we saw that with Jenna and Freya playing down the right. The way they linked up towards the second half of the season, they were just reading each other, and it was a really good partnership down the right-hand side there. So
I feel
the whole
also
team.
when I was looking at the Atletico Madrid game, I feel like Grace and Nikita seem to be linking up a lot, or I feel like they just seem to be shining a lot more. Grace, I think she had an interesting season last season. I thought she had a very, again, I'm no football expert, so I could be talking a load of rubbish. It wouldn't be the first time, but I thought Grace, in what I've seen of her, she seems to be much more physical. She's flying around the pitch a lot more. So maybe she's found that comfort to kind of start shining. So
beginning of the last season, we were thinking, why did you sign her? But she's definitely improved and got used to everybody and the style of play and what have you, without a doubt.
How about you, Nessy? I know you're being very graceful in letting us all kind of get our opinions out, but what do you make, as it were?
Firstly, I have to apologize to anyone watching. I forgot that there was comments and we were getting comments coming in. So Linda was saying that Sophie is the academy goalkeeping coach. So that's why she's still knocking around. The other thing to remember as well, that there's 3 homegrown goalkeepers, which is good when we have so many international players, because you have to have a minimum of 8, isn't it? Homegrown players.
Yeah.
So that could be another reason why there's some around. What do I think? Graschioro, I think, was terrible at the start of last season, but she definitely is coming into her own. I was looking at the game on Sunday. I was impressed with Delphine as well, started moving around quite well. There was a few players that it probably took them a little while just to... there was a lot of change in the whole team last year. So when Jocelyn was kicked out at Christmas, let's say he wasn't kicked out. He was kicked out 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
Eder came in. They were secure at that point of the season. They had enough points. They knew they weren't going to go down. And the obvious thing that was happening was that the three teams, Lyon, Washington Spirit, and London City, from above, it kind of looked that they wanted the three teams to play the same similar style of football, which that it's going that way. And with that, you have a new manager coming in. You have new players who have been playing together with one style of football who are now having to transition into another way of football and getting to know different players. There's language barriers that I don't think ever existed before in London City. There's so many different nationalities as well. We were even saying there was like an interview there with Alexia, and it was just, how can I just dropping names, like just saying, oh, Alexia did an interview. Yeah, she plays for us. Like, just even saying that is just crazy. Like
mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing.
Like, I went into the Chelsea end to cheer Barcelona when Barcelona were playing them a couple of years ago. Just so, and my partner came with me, and I dragged her along just because these players were playing for Barcelona, and I'm like, I watch these people on the telly all the time. We're going to go and see them when we can because they're so bloody brilliant. You have to say that you've seen the best players in the world, and they're going to be on the pitch tonight. They're playing in Bromley now. This is just crazy. Like, this is crazy. But Alexia was saying that she, like, there's 2 or 3 languages at once going in her head to get directions and to get instructions or whatever. You know, I think what happened last season may have been more of a, towards last season, may have been more of a unifying thing that we actually realize. I mean, Alana Kennedy, towards even the last few games this season, Alana Kennedy saved that team so many times, both in defence, and there was a couple of goals here and there for draws. And I don't think that can be underestimated, because she got a nomination for Australian Player of the Year today as well. But she was really important to that team towards the end of the year. But whether she's going to be as important this season, I don't know. When you see Hamapi Lyon was playing on Sunday, and just, I mean, when you see someone who is putting the distribution of the ball from the full back line, the last person that I can safely, hand on heart, say that I have seen do anything like that is Trent Alexander-Arnold. The way he just pops the ball around from the back line up to the forwards. Some of the balls that she was popping around on Sunday were just absolutely incredible. And if she can get that down with the wingers, London City are going to be absolutely incredible. And the other thing that we haven't even seen yet, we haven't seen Diani. And we haven't seen Diani. Freya and Izzy may be injured, maybe not. Someone said during the week that they were injured.
Diani is good.
Yeah, so there's one thing actually I want to say now, and it's probably when I think of it, I want to say it. Sometimes in women's football, we're not told why someone isn't in the team. It could be a niggle. If it's a long-term serious injury, we'll always be told. Sometimes people can't play because of period pain.
Mm-hmm.
And they're feeling absolutely shite. So if someone isn't in a team for a reason, don't keep poking. You're not entitled to know if someone is feeling shite on that particular day. So if someone's not playing and you don't know why, that might be why. So the players are allowed to have a little bit of privacy if they need it. It's just something that happened this week, and I was like, it's none of our business. If someone isn't feeling well, it's not our business that way. You can have an off day. If it's a long-term injury, fine, but it can be day-to-day stuff as well that might mean you're not in the squad. But that's another thing. But I'm really excited for this season. I'm really excited for this season. I can't wait. And I think Mappy Lyon is going on last Sunday, I think she could be the signing of the season.
That's exactly what on Sunday. So everyone obviously is talking about Puteus. Leon's kind kind of slipped in behind. But I think she is going to be the one, definitely.
I loved the way she was, the way she knows what the opposition, where they're going to pass the ball before they even know. And she's a split second off, and she's intercepting balls before the opposition have even passed them. Her awareness.
She's so calm. There's no panic. It's like, I think it's her personality. She's just so chilled. She's just
totally controlling that back line. She's telling them when to push up, when to drop back. Yeah, brilliant player. Like you say, I think she's probably better than Alexia for the club as a signing.
Yeah.
You almost wonder if the fact that like with Alexia and Mappy, considering they've kind of already had so much success. They've won the World Cup, they've won the Champions League, not quite the Euros, but we won't gloat. But you do kind of wonder, because maybe that takes a bit of the pressure off of them to be like, right, I need to win this within my career time. Maybe it's giving them a bit, this is like an exciting opportunity, but they've ultimately got quite a good degree of freedom. They can just play good football, train with these other good players, look to be ambitious, but maybe in not having kind of the same intense level of pressure as maybe some other teams might be placing on their squads. They're just flourishing a lot more. Maybe I wonder if that's a dynamic at play as well. The fact that you've got maybe some players that aren't thinking this is like the be all and end all. Like, okay, I've already actually done some successful things, so let's see if I can make this happen elsewhere and just show the world what I can do at my best.
Yeah, I think if some of Alexia's interviews, she still wants to win everything there is to win out there. I think she puts as much pressure on herself, but I think it's not as pressurized as she was earlier on in her career, is it?
No, not at all. One of the things that I wanted to say was that within this space, I always wanted to have something where we actually talk properly about London City and the football, and that it's not just about players' relationships and all that kind of stuff as you get on TikTok. Because let's be honest, I'm not of an age. I post on TikTok. I posted 13 seconds of a video of Danielle van der Donk the other day. All she was doing was running from one spot to another. And 1 in 5 people who watched it liked the video, which is a record high for me, but which is just crazy. But I just want to shout out to Lawrence and to all the media team who've been working on the visuals from the time that they've been in Portugal and stuff, because the visuals that they've created are, obviously you can't manufacture what's going on behind the scenes and how the players interact with it. Well, you can manufacture it to a certain extent, but when they're chilling out, you can't create that. It has to be a spontaneous thing. It has to be a natural thing. And they're capturing it so well. I said it, I was actually talking to Lawrence the other day, and it was like, for me, some of those images that they were that they got and they put in the socials from Portugal were like a mix between Dawson's Creek and the Breakfast Club. And it was somewhere like that you want to be like a gang, that you want them to be your best mate. You want to go and chill out with them. You want to go and sit on the edge of a lake with, I don't know, a blanket wrapped around, and you want to go and have a picnic with them. And that showed an awful lot, I think, about the unity that's within the club. Yes, the visuals have been brilliant. They have been brilliant. But it's, you're not going to get that feel. You can try and manufacture it, but there's like a friendship there. The underlying friendship was coming through on that. And I haven't seen that. Some clubs try and force it and it doesn't work. Chelsea have tried and forced that and it didn't work. But this really, really works. And it's just, oh man. I mean, if you can put that up for an Oscar, I'd put those shots up for an Oscar. They were bloody brilliant. Like,
they do seem to genuinely get on and have a laugh and have fun with each other, which is only going to build up a relationship on the pitch as well, isn't it? They do seem to get on really, really well.
I think also something I found frustrating with some of the signs, like when Alexia was announced as a signing, I think some people look at London City and they look at it as kind of this Frankenstein plan of the megalomaniacal Michelle Kang and her conquest to dominate the world of women's football. And they don't look at it as a club of people, of players who are people, with fans who are people. Fans who, if you were, from the opening days of London City Lionesses, which I'm not, but from what I went through with Reading, having to go through that, like your own team having to walk away from the club that they were originally with, and to go from that to now, to see some people just talk so flippantly and dismissively about London City, and almost as if there aren't people that genuinely care about the team and the club. So I feel like the visuals, like showing the players like having this good time, there's this genuine excitement within the team, but also around the team. I do think it is just kind of, I guess, softening things a little bit, or just making it look not just like, oh, we're just, signing our way to the top. Like, no, these are people, and we're all working towards, we're ambitious, absolutely. But I think it is just adding a humanity back into it, which I think is just going a long way to just kind of remind people that these are people at the end of the day. Just to pop on my soapbox there.
And when Janice says that she's shopping in Asda as well in BBC interviews, that's always good. Speaking of which, I got a message today from Flo from Counterpressed, that podcast, if you watch it. And very awesome podcast. Hello, and thank you for even recognizing that we exist. So she told me that as part of the podcast festival that's happening in London, Jana Fernandez is actually going to be taking part in the Counterpress podcast on Sunday night. So I'll post some details on the socials afterwards. But if you want to go and hear Jana talk and know what, look at, chances are, if Jana's going to take part in that, there's going to be a few of the others tagging along as well, because it's Sunday night and that's what you do when you're London City, Now, we'll move on a little bit because I can see we've 52 minutes on the clock and I don't want to keep you here half the night, just a little bit of the night. Where are my notes? Right. We have to talk about the injured players and the squad depth, because it was looking quite, put it this way, there was standing room only on the bus. You weren't getting a seat. Cossie and Marchetto now are back after surgery for their ACLs. I might add, last season they weren't the only one that did their ACL. I actually fell and did my ACL on the way into Bromley before the Leicester game. I fell on the footpath outside.
Oh, and not that game as well. That was wonderful to go to.
It was no, not that one. I couldn't go. Not that one. The one, it was it the Subway Cup in October?
Oh, okay. Maybe good you didn't go to that one then.
No, I was at that one. I still went in and we lost.
Oh.
But yeah, so they're out with ACLs. There's currently there are 20. I think it's dead on 25 players that could be registered for London City, which kind of begs the question. Do you think Cossie will be back at all this year?
When did she rupture it?
West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah, it was like
April.
Like the third to last game or something, wasn't it? Or it was quite late on.
It's
Yeah, it was like the 26th of April.
I saw her post the other day and she's lifting weights with that leg. But she's 37. I don't even know if she'd get a regular spot in the team anymore.
It is interesting that she's not been like kind of included in
I don't
the
think
promos and
get a regular place.
I was speaking to Lawrence, as I said, and he did tell me that she has been around. While she mightn't always be there because she's off, she's doing a lot of the rehab where it's warm.
Yeah.
But she has been around the club and she's keeping in touch with everyone, which is good to know and good to see. And I think obviously it's only right and proper that she has been looked after and given an extension on her contract. It would be an absolutely horrendous way to end your career, because she did say that last year was going to be her last season at club football. But obviously she wants to try and get the World Cup, but she's not going to get the World Cup now with this, is she?
No, I don't think she'd get selected for a World Cup now. I don't think she'd be match fit or getting the minutes on the pitch to get up to that standard. Because the last few games she's been coming on as a sub for Sweden, hasn't she?
Well, speaking of that, the last few games she was coming on as a sub for London City. She was only, if she was starting a game, she was only lasting 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's what happened at West Ham. She came on, didn't she? And then and then got injured.
It was right at the end, wasn't it? To twist the knife. It was like in the extra time where it happened.
Yeah.
That's a major blow. I don't want to pity somebody. I don't, because she's a strong, independent woman, and I don't want to pity her, but I do empathize with her, because it's, if you have, I suppose we all have little markers in our lives that you want to achieve, whether it's getting this podcast, actually making it a reality, or just talking about it for so long, or whether it's playing in the World Cup. You set yourself little goals that you want to achieve along the way. And never mind physically, mentally, that's going to be a huge thing if that is the end of her career as well. And it would be still lovely if her playing time is over. It would be lovely if she became an ambassador for the club or something like that, because she did. I'm not one of these people who puts players on a pedestal. I mean, they're still players. They're still people. You know what I mean? Yes, they deserve respect because they're very, very talented at what they do. But I would like to see her. She's a good person. And when you get to talk to her, she doesn't talk very much, but when you do get to talk to her, she has this little bit of a humility about her that you wouldn't think. And she's done an awful lot for the club. And she brought a lot of good things to the club. And it would be nice if something happened that, you know, if that was the end of her playing with London City, it would be nice to do something like that.
I mean, she was like one of your star signings back then. You know, she's a big name. I think she'll play. I do think she'll play sort of March, April time, even if it's just 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I do think she'll play, and then she'll probably retire at the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I thought our squad was 29, including so maybe 25, 7 fit players. The only I will have to check my numbers again, and I can't bring up. I had the full squad here, but I can't bring it up because I didn't learn how to take everybody away and put somebody else up. So there you go. Maybe would it be that way? Hold on. Oh, maybe this is it. Hold on.
There you
go.
It's a learning experience.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. So remind me here not to cover Mary. Who's that up there at the top? Elaine Lette. Remind me not to cover Elaine, or she will be very annoyed with me. So I think that's everybody that was there. Rafia will be back from WAFCON. Some of the players have started arriving back from WAFCON to other clubs this week. So I'm presuming she will be back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we've 27.
With 2 injured players.
So 2 injured. Hold on. Aslani and Marchetto weren't in that.
Oh, right.
So yeah. There's still a little bit of things to happen along the way. I don't know where, unless there's somebody who, I know Nicole did post something on her socials last week. She posted, one of those recap of the month or whatever you call them, that I'm really bad at calling them. She posted something saying that, well, not even saying, she had a picture, she was lying on a couch and her knee was in a brace. So I wouldn't be 100% if she wasn't registered before Christmas.
Or goalkeepers either, would they?
If Sophie is taking over or currently goalkeeping coach with the underage, they mightn't register her for playing. But we have to make sure then that they're still going to have enough homegrown talent.
Yes, true.
There are some insane, when you look at that, there are some insane names there.
It's ridiculous.
And
It's
also
ridiculous.
not many like weak names either. Like there's no one in there's like, oh God, they're like dragging the team down. Like that's a heck of a lineup across the board.
I remember watching, I remember even watching the Euros. Was it last year the Euros were on? Elena Linari was playing, and I was like, she's a great defender.
Yeah, I didn't like it that day. I really didn't like it that day.
And it's like, Jesus, she's great. And then the next thing she's at London City. It's nuts. Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know, because Rosa came on. Rosa was great at the weekend. There's still a lot of stuff, and I don't know how to do this now again. There we go. I don't know what way it's going to go.
No.
I mean, they've got a gel. You know, you can put the best players in the world in one team. They're not going to necessarily play world-class football to start with. So I think we're going to need to give them a bit of a break. Hopefully by Christmas, they'll start showing us that, yeah, they mean business.
Well, this season, they've had all the signings were there for the start of pre-season, whereas last season we played Arsenal at the Emirates and half the team had only been in the country for 3 weeks.
But Grass came in, she actually pushed in past me. She was like, excuse me. And I'm like, Grass? And she was like, no, I'm not even pretending I heard you say my name. No, keep walking, keep walking. Herself and either her bodyguard or a boyfriend who was doing a very good job walked in past me. But yeah, that was crazy. Right. Need to talk about this coming Saturday versus Leon. So Wassa Sangare is back with Leon. I did like Wassa, I have to say. The MasterCard Cup. I'm not sometimes when people or when sponsors call just a preseason challenge game and MasterCard Cup, it's like, okay, it's obvious to me that I think MasterCard anyway are going to be the front of shirt sponsors for London City. If they've already been the sponsors for Leon, this just seems like a natural thing when they're calling this the MasterCard Cup on Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah.
It does seem a bit of a while to have announced that. Given like MasterCard, they've been pushing it a lot as like a sponsor for London City up until this point, certainly in the latter half of the season. So it does seem a bit weird that they'd hold off on announcing that if that is who it is. But I'm sure there are reasons beyond my realm of understanding for what's going on, as it were.
How much emphasis would you put on this game, or do you think it's just another challenge game, or do you think London City actually want to win it?
I think we want to win all of our we don't want to lose any pre-season friendlies, and we want to get one over on Leon. I think they want to be the best club Michel owns. They want to beat Leon. No two ways about it. They won't mess about.
I actually think she wants London City to be her flagship club.
So do I. Yeah.
She's pumping the money in. Look at the massive investment with the training facility she's going to build now.
Plus, as we said earlier, we're playing in the best league in the world.
There's something about football in England. There's always just a bit of oh God, I sound very pompous, but I think there's something a bit like, considering like this is what, like the Premier League as well. I think there is just something about, and to top the WSL as well, like Lyon, they're a fantastic team, but like the French league landscape isn't quite over here. Whereas all like I'm working my way through the BBC Women's kind of previews where they've gone to all the media days, and all the players say like the selling point of the WSL is that even against the weaker teams, they're still competitive matches. So to be the team that beats all those quality oppositions to get the title, I think that has an allure to it, as it were. As for this one, I wonder if it's less of a they want to win it and more they don't want to lose it. Because I think if they lose to Lyon, going in against Man U might be an interesting tone versus if they come off the back of a win. But then again, Man United, I don't think that's going to be a bit of a wild card given kind of their circumstances and what their like morale must be compared to all the hype that's the London City side. So it might not be a factor, but yeah, I don't think they want to lose it.
I think they need to be very careful because obviously it's so close to the season. We don't need to be injuring anyone. So, it's nice to win these games, but I think he's just getting minutes in legs.
Like
it's nice to win, but
that game on Sunday, that was anything but a friendly. They were going in hard on some of those tackles. Like they were proper going for it.
Did they not say that was the hardest pre-season friendly we're going to have? Or up until that point, it was the best opposition we've played so far.
Yeah. I mean, they are decent. I was so annoyed. Hermoso signed today.
Yes.
Why? I was waiting for it before the friendly. I was like, please sign, because I knew she was leaving Mexico. I heard the rumours she was going to Atletico. She never appeared. And then woe betide today, there we go, all in lights. She is signed for him and she wasn't there. I was so annoyed. So annoyed.
Leah says Man United struggled a bit pre-season. Yes, Liverpool bet them the other day, but still a very strong team. Looking forward to the match. I actually think London City, if they played the way they played in the first half of that game that on Sunday, I think they'll batter Man United.
Yes, I think I was talking to some Man United fans online, and they were saying their hope to come away with a draw.
There you go.
That says something about the fans' confidence.
That says it all.
You wouldn't have heard that a year ago.
No,
right.
That's the thing. We didn't beat any of the big four last year. Like Chelsea was the only one we got a point from, and like hands up, that was because they probably had one eye against a Champions League match. Like the Wednesday, they were playing Arsenal, weren't they? Afterwards, so it's remarkable how in just that short space of time, all of a sudden, everyone's like, I think it's London City's to lose, which is a lovely position to be in, but let's not count our chickens before they've hatched, as it were.
Right, we've a couple of. I actually was sent a couple of messages, and I will do some graphics. I think we could make this a regular thing. It was from some London City fans online. This one, when do you think they'll release the away and third kit? I'm really excited to see if they have new design or will they go with last year's. They'll probably do a new design. And if you look at the tracksuits have 3 logos on them. Those kind of 90s style tracksuits that they had kind of a pinky and a greeny on it. I wouldn't be surprised if the away shirts or the third shirts ended up being one of those colours or 2 of those colours. But one thing about London City they're always quite late with their shirts. Always late with their shirts. So you have to be really... Yeah. So just be patient. They're always really late with their shirts. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. You'll get your shirt. If you've ordered your shirt online, it will arrive. I mean, I ordered mine without a sponsor, I might add. And weeks later, I got a response back saying, yes, we know you want it without the sponsor. So they know all those kind of stuff. So things will arrive. They just take ages. The other question that I had was people wanting to find out about Bromley as well and what it was like there. They wanted to know if you could, there was someone who got in touch with me on Instagram who is actually in Germany and bought a season ticket, and they're going to fly over every week or as much as they can. And they bought a ticket in Block A, and they wanted to find out whether they would be they thought they'd be okay, and then they were worried that they mightn't be able to meet the players afterwards from where they were sitting. If you're in Bromley, you're going to have time and you're going to be able to meet the players. Just be patient. Depending on what's going on, you mightn't meet them every week, but there'll always be someone knocking around. They're always really good. They always give time. And it happened once that they didn't, and the team were called out over it. And that was it did. It happened once after defeat that they kind of went in and the team were called out over it, and it hasn't happened again. But that wasn't the team, I don't think. I think that came from above at the time, that they weren't just get into the dressing room and they were called out over it. The other question I had was, if the games are on YouTube, can you see them in other places? Is it possible to see them in other places around the world? Now, the games are always on YouTube. If you're outside the UK, they'll be on Sky or BBC or whatever. It's mostly Sky that you'd be able to watch WSL games. But if you are on YouTube, and I do not condone illegal broadcasting of any way, shape or form, but there is a thing called a VPN that you can use. And if you have a VPN, you can sometimes say that you're in a different part of the world and get your... So if, for example, if I am outside the UK on holidays, I can get my UK programs on my telly box if I say I'm in the UK. So you might be able to see some games that way. But wherever you are in the world, I know the WSL have also announced some sponsorship deals or viewing deals in Asia and different parts of the world for the WSL. So you will be able to see the games, and they're always online anyway afterwards. The following day, you'll always get them on YouTube anyway. So that's that. Right. So coming to the end of it, don't forget, if you want to get in touch, I do have an email address, which I should have probably put up on the screen. It's lclprideldn. I'll write a banner. It's lclprideldn @gmail.com. That's what it is for now until I get my stuff together. If you have any questions, if you have anything you think we should talk about, and there you go. Ooh.
You're getting a dab hand out of this now, aren't you?
I'm telling you. So if there's anyone you think we should talk to, if there's ex-players you think we should talk to, or if there's a guy actually that I might try and see if we can chat to, who wrote an article about why he thinks London City, and Michelle Kang wants London City to be her flagship team. So I might see if we can get chatting to him on an upcoming pod. And we're going to be chatting to someone from Man United who's a big Man United fan. They're going to talk about Man United women. We're going to have West Ham. We've Liverpool people lined up. So if you are from a team that we're going to be playing this season, please do get in touch. We don't know everyone. Tell us who you are. And it'd be great to get like a little network of people. We might be rivals on the field, but it's always good to have a little bit of camaraderie. So when you come to Bromley, we can say hello. We can sit down and have an old laugh and all that kind of stuff as well. So always do say hello. Final thing before we go: predictions for next season. Where are we going to finish? Zoe, you start off.
4th. The reason why is I think Arsenal are too strong for everyone. This season, I think, could be theirs. Man City, Chelsea, London City. That's where I'm going. That's my top 4.
I think we'll be fighting Chelsea for 3rd place.
Yeah.
I like the optimism.
Yeah, I think, like you say, Arsenal, Man City, although I would love to take points off them, I think they're just too strong at the moment. Chelsea, we'll be fighting them for 3rd.
I think we'll be close. I've also punted 4th. I would have worried a lot about Brighton and Tottenham, but Tottenham, I think they've churned a bit. So I do wonder. We're used to, bringing talent in, left, right, and centre, but Tottenham, this is a bit new for them. And up until the rumours today about who Brighton's coach is going to be, then I'd have thought, oh yeah, they've got a steady ship. They're going to be but again, there's a lot of change there. So I think we're going to be, I'd say, comfortable fourth. Famous last words.
Yeah.
What about you, Nessy?
Go on then, Vanessa, what do you think?
Go on. Put your neck on the line.
I have been listening to, I listen to too many podcasts, and some of them were saying, oh, they'll be sixth or they'll be fifth. Now, to be quite honest with you, if London City finish sixth in 26-27, I would consider that an absolute disaster.
Yep.
The only way they would finish sixth is if, and God forbid, touch wood, half the squad break legs or something. That is the only way that would happen. If that happened, there's going to be, if that happened, Eater won't be around by Christmas. Put it this way. Definitely not. I would expect them to be top three. And to be quite honest with you, I'll be very disappointed if they don't, because I, in my head, have been planning road trips to their European games. And I have said for the past 2 or 3 years that I want to go doing road trips to the European games and get a camper van and go vlog all London City European games. And if that doesn't happen next year, I will be really, really disappointed.
My eldest daughter doesn't go to any football, but she did say, oh, if you get into the European Cup, Champions League, I might come and watch a game. So she wants a weekend in Rome or somewhere like that.
Yeah. I mean,
How you reel them in though? It only takes one game and it can reel them in. You
No,
never
she's
know.
Formula One. That's that.
Oh, fair enough. I love cars, but yeah, football to me.
No, I've got the other two that come every week, so I think 2's enough.
right. I think it's probably time that we called it a night. I've been keeping you. It's getting late, but I really appreciate you all coming along and turning up tonight. It's been fantastic to get to know you all a bit better as well, because we all see each other at games, but you go into a game, you say hello, you go, hi, how's it going, whatever.
Yeah.
And but then by the time the game's over, you're off doing your thing, or you're getting home, or you're going for a train, or whatever it happens to be. So it's actually fourth place most realistic. No, it's not. Third.
It is.
Third.
As we were all saying, like fourth and third, Nessy, you were just like slowly just like boiling, weren't you? Just like, these traitors. I've invited them on my podcast. They've all said fourth.
Yeah, I'm a realist. They're
I just
not
want
going to gel straight away. They're not.
I just want to go on holidays.
He just wants an holiday.
I want a holiday, and I mean, I think Mappy Leon could be the person to supply the goals to make that holiday happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there. Look at it. Here's Dave coming in.
Second.
You do wonder.
There you go. Man City and Chelsea distracted by the WCL, UWCL. Yeah, there you go. Second. Imagine second. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great. Listen, thank you all so much for jumping on this evening. I've really enjoyed the chats, and hopefully we can all make this as I said before, nobody has to appear every week. I'm not expecting anybody to do that. But it'd be great maybe even if we have one other person a week when we have a guest from an opposition team, it'd be great to do that. Then maybe like when it's international break or something, we give them like a midterm report card, and we could all catch up and see how they're doing. And, are they going to be A pluses, or are they going to be, I don't know, D minus or something?
If there's an international break, you can pile into the Lionesses Den. This is where we watch all the football.
Ooh. So yeah, right. Where can we all find you on? Because I know that you're quite active on the socials. Where can we find you on the socials?
So we're mainly on Instagram. I've tried TikTok. I'm not very good with videos. I'm more of a photo thing. So yeah, we're on Instagram, the Lionesses Den. We've been going on since 2023. Built this pub just after the World Cup, or no, before the World Cup, sorry. to watch football, and it exploded. I met Liam Williamson at Sky. He was invited there, and yeah, it's mad, but I love it. Tiny little place, but maximum occupancy of 6, and that's a squeeze. But yeah, definitely if you want to see more, Instagram, brilliant.
Jamie, where can we find you?
Oh gosh, wombling around somewhere. But yeah, I do have an Instagram at matchdayjammy, just because I needed a place to kind of try and find London City minded folk as well. So, but I'm far from an influencer, so no obligation to follow or anything. But it'll inflate my ego to the point where I'll probably start talking into my phone more than I ought to. So if you want to follow, you're very welcome to, but no pressure.
Andy, where should we find you?
I don't have any sites, but obviously Connie that runs the London supporters group. Like London City supporters group, isn't it? Yeah, on all the socials. So there's her and a couple of the other girls.
It's a Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on Facebook as well. Yeah.
I might join that. Yeah, I might join that. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's where you'll find the official group, apparently. I know nothing. I didn't even know I'd done this right till you said hello.
And of course, there's LCL Pride. Just look for LCL Pride everywhere. And that's probably the handiest things. Again, thank you all so much. And until the next time.
And thank you, Nessy, for organising this.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Yeah, thanks for watching and listening. Yeah. Thanks to viewers. Thanks to viewers.
Like and subscribe.
Well, yeah. There you go. You got it now. You got it.